Order filled.
Yeah, I didn't realize the countdown had ended. I was getting myself a bottle of water. I thought I had more time than that. Okay, welcome everybody. That was strange. That must have taken me longer to get water than usual. Alright, lights on. This is on. Alright, let's go over onto the BTC chart to begin with. I'm always so like microphone. There we go. This connection's so bad. Wow, thirsty. I always realize when I'm setting these up, I'm like, oh my god, I got no bottle of water. Oh my god, I got this. Oh, I gotta do this. Oh, I gotta do this. Oh, I gotta do this. Anyway, good morning, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How are we doing today? We have, who do we have in the chat today? We got Mido. We got Lucifer. The compression used on this song is not pleasant at all whilst using headphones. Feels like driving at high speed. What is that? Oh, this is the background music. I mean, royalty-free bedroom producers for the win. I mean, this is what it should be as royalty. Well, it's not. It's most of it's royalty-free music. There's certain music that isn't, which is really annoying. I'm not sure which stuff it is. If you are a producer and you'd like to send me some songs, I need basically like a playlist that's about an hour. Oh, okay, it's fine now. Must have just been a particular song that was really bad. But if there are any producers in the house, then yeah, give me a shout, because you know what, I don't need the daily open because it's the same as the monthly. Then yeah, because I could do with some stuff. Could do with some bits and bobs. Let me have my... That's so weird that the countdown finished. Did the countdown finish early, or did it get to the end of 3 minutes and then stop? Because I was sure I had more time than that. I've got my vitamins here. I've got my omega-3 and my vitamins. And I want to have those, and they're just in my hand. Let me have them. Anyway, who else do we have? We have Jambi as well. Carl Fields, Mikko Kostov, Kevin Jevin, Patrick Campbell, good morning. Jim Burnsy is in the house, good morning. Nuno is here, AZTV. I took a 20% loss on a BTC short entry, 65.5, exit 66.5. I have been saying that it wasn't a good time to short, right? But, I mean, that's okay. At least you got your invalidation there, if that was your invalidation. Hopefully that was still a sensible trade. Taking a loss is fine. Taking a loss is absolutely fine, as long as you're not risking more than you can afford, because within trading, you've got to take losses. It is part of the game, so that's all okay. Elon Musk's son is in the house, XAEA12. Did anyone see that Elon Musk, there was an interview with Elon that I saw doing the rounds yesterday. And it's kind of crazy. There's been this whole thing about Elon Musk saying about how his son is dead, which like isn't the case at all. It's just his son is like, well, his son is now his daughter, Xavier, or whatever it is. And he's like, my son is dead. Imagine that if you're, I know it's a kind of woke nonsense because his son is basically now a girl. But imagine saying that, like, imagine your dad saying that you're dead when you're not dead. It's very strange. Anyway, that's a bit of a sidetrack again. David Urban is in the house. Good morning. What the Sigma? Hello from Dublin Airport. Nice. Where are you off to? Or have you just arrived in Dublin Airport? Vitamin number 2 taken. Last vitamin. Weirdo. All right, so I'm vitamined up. My brain will be functioning very soon. Going to Italy, very nice. Where did we get to? Razor Sharp. Good morning from Norway. Ovo Cow. Good morning. ETH ETF season. Yes, indeed. Indeed. This ETH BTC range has been fantastic recently. Really nice. I've lost track of where we are again. Luke, tell me it's up only. Almost up only. I'd like to see some more correction. Flip long, all BTC bulls go to heaven. Okay. Ebba Mark, welcome. Kyle, welcome. I think I've done all the welcomes. Gurgly Urban. We've got a Gurgly Urban and we've got a David Urban in the house. Two Urbans. Gave back my gains, but no liquidation email. Well, at least you didn't get liquidated. WLD in a good spot to buy. We'll have a look in that in a minute. Going to Italy 2 hours delayed. Is that the fallout from the Microsoft shenanigans, maybe? Ryanair for the win. He's not my brother anymore. Should we short BTC and go long at ETH? I wouldn't say it's a good idea to short anything right now. We're still like chilling at support, so it's all good. Oh, the music's probably too loud. Let me just turn this down. It's okay when I'm not saying much, but the music's probably a little bit too loud. Okay, make sure you hit the likes on your way in. We'll begin with the proper stuff very soon. Hemule spot, too crazy to buy. What's Hemule? What is Hemule? I've never heard of that. Not heard of that ever in my life. Cool. Right. NQ is there. That's good. I don't know. I don't know if I've mentioned this on stream before, but with Top Step, because that's where I trade Nasdaq futures. That's where I do my my prop trading, my funded trading for the NQ and for the ES, or mainly just for the NQ. But they've got this new thing called Top Step VIP that I got invited to, and basically they gave me like a free 100k account, which is going to be used as part of a competition. And I was the first person in the world to pass that account, which I was very happy about. I did this. I can show, will it show on here? Let's get my dash open. Let's get my dashboard open and I'll show you. It's kind of crazy. Passed this account. So let me just make this dark screen. I got this here. So on Top Step, you can only do a 2-day pass. You've got to trade for at least 2 days. And I traded it like really sensible on the first day. I took like 2 trades in the whole day. and I traded it really sensibly. And this was just as I got the account. So they sent out the accounts on Friday, and then you have to do this 2-day pass. And I hit the profit target on that one, right? And then there was 2 like 4 contract trades. And then I won both of them. And then yesterday I just went nuts. I just scalped like crazy. I just was like, right, I've just got to either pass this or blow it, because the thing is they give you free resets. I was like, I've got to be the first person. I've got to be the first person. So as soon as New York session opened, I just was like and went mental with it. So I've got a 94% win streak on it. I did take a couple of losses yesterday. No, I had one loss, and that was a loss of $650. Just because I was just smashing like 4 contracts, going like mad. But yeah, I was officially the first person to pass that. So I've got it on my on Top Step here. We've got these little groups. We've got this. Let me open this up on the Discord. And then over here, we've got like this VIP group thing, which is the competition. And I got there before everybody else. So someone else hit their 3K target. And these are the trades I was taking. So you can see how mental I was yesterday. It's like short, long. And these are all the trades that I took. So I did take 2 losses. I took a $740 loss and a $5 loss, but I managed to get through that and get my win. Oh my God, I've done the Blofin thing again. But yeah, that was fun. So I've got this thing, and I think it's going to be used so on their live streams and things. So yeah. It's been good. So that was fun. I'm going to trade that more sensibly now, because I'd like to actually hit their leaderboards and everything as well, which is very important. I can't blow that one up. Benzie, it was great to see that as it happened. You smashed it. Thank you. I will do my best not to blow that account up. But the great thing is, like, they will just reset it again for me if I do. It's a bit of fun with them, and hopefully I'll be joining them on some live streams and stuff soon. Lucifer, $650 last year. That's half my average salary in many countries. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, it's a 100K account, and you've got to get 6K to pass it. And if you lose 3K, then you fail it. So you've got to size up on there. And it's one of those things, like, if I was to fail it, if I was to lose 3K, I would have just got a free reset from it. So it's like YOLO, don't care. Especially once you're halfway through, I'm either going to pass it or we're just going to do it again. So, yeah. And they only cost, like, even if you're like, so these 100K accounts cost like $99, I think, to buy. So it's pretty cheap. Where can I trade ES if I don't have a prop firm account? I know that there's a couple of crypto exchanges that do it, that do these, that do ES and NQ. ES is not very good to trade. Nasdaq's good to trade. ES is a bit like, it's always just really, really flat and never really does very much. So, like, I don't really trade ES, but NQ's nice. I think there are a few crypto exchanges that do it. I think BingX do it, Prime XBT do it. I think Woo may be introducing it soon. Yeah, Breakout isn't CryptoFace, it's Trader Main, Cred, and one of the other guys. Yeah, I use Breakout as well. It is quite nice. I use Breakout and Bright Funded for, and I've got accounts on Breakout, Bright Funded, and the other crypto one, Crypto Fund Trader. But I barely use them. I just like took one of the challenges, passed, and then barely go on there. The platforms aren't very nice, so I like trading crypto with the API on Teal Street and stuff. Okay, face. Crypto Face is an affiliate. I didn't. Is that guy still going? That's mental that he's still like. That he's still going. But the amount of money he must get from Market Cipher and from affiliate links is insane. Okay, right. If there aren't any further questions or further chat, hit the like button. Make sure you do hit the like button again. I don't know if I've already said that. And also, before I forget, we do have new special offer is dropped from our. Actually, I'm going to do this in the video. Yeah, I'm going to do it in the video because that's what they're sponsoring. I'm going to do that one. Right, so I'm going to stop the music momentarily. We're going to look at this. Okay, let me get all my screens open and ready to go. That's the really nice thing, Lord Hades. So when you've got these prop accounts, and the nice thing about the crypto ones is that they don't shut you out at the end of the trading day. So with things like the Nasdaq and the ES, and this is why actually trading on crypto exchange, trading Nasdaq and ES on like these crypto exchanges is kind of nice, because they don't do they don't close all of your positions at the end of the day. Whereas with something like Top Step or Apex and those kind of things, they once the day is finished, it closes out your account because it's only open during the market hours and because of the CME contracts and blah 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 blah. Right. XO's good. This one's good. This one's good. We are good to begin. Stop the music. And we'll start off with a Bitcoin update. Hello traders, welcome to today's video. It is Tuesday the 23rd of July 2024, and Bitcoin's still not really doing anything, is it? It's been fairly flat for the past couple of days. So yesterday we did have very, very, very early in the morning, just after the weekly open, there was an SFP of the previous week high. Now the previous week high was on a Sunday evening, so that's fairly standard. And we've had a bit of a retrace since then, but nothing too significant. So I'd like to go over today, any other targets that we do have really here. But for me with Bitcoin, it is just a case of remaining patient. I am still probably expecting higher. I don't really think there's a need for a big retrace. I do have this 62K zone highlighted on my chart. That I would consider to be a bit of a gift if we are to get it. I'm not really expecting it. I still do think trading the trend is good. The dip that we've had over the past couple of days, especially from altcoins, is starting to look nice. I also believe ETH ETFs start trading today. Maybe. I have to look at that. I know I did see some news about that yesterday. ETH BTC pairs come into a really nice area. I know we're not talking about an Ethereum update. We'll cover Ethereum after this. But yeah, Bitcoin's just been relatively flat. So I'm going to get into the analysis, of course. Before we do that, thank you very much, of course, to our sponsors at Blofin, who are helping us, very kindly supporting the channel. And there is a new discount that has dropped from them. So with Blofin, you can get some super juicy discounts with the link that is in the description. and the one that's shared on the Discord and all of those kind of things, you do get a 20% fee discount. What we also have is this was 10% cashback. They've upped that to 15% for us, which is very, very kind of them. So if you do deposit on Blofin, you can get up to $7,500 in futures bonus, which is very, very nice. So that means if you deposit $10,000, you get a $1,500 deposit bonus. And if you deposit 50K, you get a 7,500 futures bonus. So that means that it is free trades. So you keep the profit, and yeah, you just get nice free trades out of it. What you do get in addition to that is depending on your trading volume. So what you can do is just trade this futures bonus on like 100x leverage, rack up a load of volume, and get even more bonuses from it. So even if you're not profitable, you get even more bonuses from it, which is really, 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 really good. So yeah, lots of free money over there from Blofin. So do go check out the links that are in the description below if you would like to do so. And we're going to get back into our analysis here. So from the daily time frame, we can see that we've just had a couple of just corrective days, very similar to what we had in the middle of the week last week. Nothing significant, no real drops going on, and it's just correcting and just trading within balance here. And I think as long as it is continuing to do this, then that for me is relatively healthy. We have taken out the Monday lows on a Tuesday. We can see here from these daily candles, we had the weekly open that swept the previous week high. We then open on the Tuesday, we come down, we take out the previous day lows, those Monday lows. So that does give us a target for higher. So everything's still looking pretty healthy here. And as you can see, still holding around this overall range point of control. So if we are looking on the daily, then I think next target for myself is to come up and test these next highs that we have over here, which are around about that $70,000, and also to test the value area high of the range. So 69,900 to 70,000 will be the next area of interest for me if this trend does continue. And there's nothing so far to suggest that the trend won't continue. It's still fairly chill. Our daily open was around about this monthly level. So we are getting towards the end of the month. There will be options expiries coming up later in the week. And then, of course, next week we do flip into August on Thursday, Friday, one of those days. So this is the last full trading week that we do have. Thursday is the 1st of August. So the last full trading week that we have before a new month. So I think this monthly level is going to be significant, and I could see price just staying around here. Even if there is to be a move up towards that 70K, I would imagine we see some kind of pullback into that monthly level to see basically if we get a situation where we get an engulfing candle. All right, we know that for since March, we've been trading within this range. Okay, everything relatively contained within that March candle. And then we had that previous month open, that June, which started off the downtrend that we've seen lately. It'll be interesting to see if we can get that engulfing candle that can give us some more confidence that this is going to be pushing even higher. Although I'm still very confident that we're going to be pushing higher on these higher time frames anyway. When you look at the weekly here as well, we can see that we're just within this weekly OB. So it is resistance, all right, but it's not causing any major rejection. We're not seeing weakness at this stage. So higher time frames looking good. If we open up anything here and we're looking at like any divergences or anything, I don't even have the RSI on this. Do I not? That is very bizarre. So let's just add the RSI on here. We can see we're not seeing any kind of divergences that are forming here. What you may have is like this, like the hidden bearish divergence with the RSI making the new high without price following. But because we had these bearish divergences up at highs previously, okay, that have played out, I wouldn't be looking at that necessarily as anything too significant here. If we go down onto the 4 hour, we're getting a bit of a bounce. So we can see here, if we just mark on our previous day low, right, clean, okay, very, very clean. Price came down, took out those Monday lows, closed the 4 hour above, and now we're seeing a retrace here. Now there is imbalance up to 67,200 where we have what could form a 4 hour gap. Now we may find that within this 4-hour candle itself, we go and close the this gap immediately, and it no longer is a gap, because that's what we're doing. We're just trading within a local range, very similar to what we did last week. So slow and steady, but still an uptrend. Drop it down onto the 1 hour. Again, a little bit of time spent below there. This was quite nice from a session basis also. I'm just going to drop on onto the 30-minute actually. So if we look at our market sessions, there was your Asia session. So our daily open just above that that monthly level. I will mark it on here anyway. I didn't want to mark it on there from the higher time frames, but when you go down onto the lower time frames, you can see how you had the spike up. Then you lost the daily open. You trade back into it, not making a new high, giving you reason to believe that you can look for those short positions to go down to take out those previous day lows. And then, of course, London session opens. You sweep the Asia session lows during London, and then that gives us, once again, targets higher. And we do have single prints that have formed today. So everything within that also being very, very corrective and kind of nice. Is there anything that we can see dropping it down onto the lower time frames again here? I think the single prints are the big one. We are trading back within those single prints. Okay, so we have acceptance back inside them. You would imagine that would give us a move to see, at the very least, you're either going to tap into them and then reject and continue lower. And that would have been half an hour ago. The fact that we're now seeing that acceptance, that does increase the probability that we are going to trade back through it up towards around about 67,300. So if you're long from either the sweep of the Monday lows or the London sweep of the Asia lows, then I think that's looking like a trade you can hold at least to 67,300 here to fill these single prints. That would also be some quite nice confluence with a local golden pocket, okay, coming into that 702 there, which would fill these single prints on here. So it's a slow one. It's a slow one. I think alts are giving some better opportunities, but we'll see how this bounce goes. Of course, yesterday we were in a similar situation where when I was doing the live stream, we were looking at this area as holding a support, looking for a potential bounce here. That did create this corrective like ABCD. And then we came up without making new highs again, coming back into that weekly open, opportunity to take a short. But once again, yeah, still just trading within this range and everything looking relatively calm here. Is there anything else I can do on this? If we just see where the POC is, we're right at that point of control. We didn't get any acceptance outside of value. And yeah, it's all good. Are we at VWAP? Are we at session VWAP? We've just gone back above session VWAP as well. So we'll see how this bounce goes. I think maybe later on during the stream, we may get some price action. Maybe can look for a short back down here, but yeah, still looking for a bit more of a floaty move up on this. Anything else on trading the view that we can really look at? We had the gap yesterday that did get filled. If we do look at this here, so this was the CME gap from our most recent weekly close, which is here. There was the retrace back into the gap yesterday. You then made a lower high, and then you're coming back down into that. Is that going to act as resistance here? It could do. Okay, that once again does give us that confluence. So we around about our local golden pocket. It will have filled the single prints at that stage. So there is that CME gap that could potentially flip into resistance at 67,300 on the CME chart. But once again, I'm not looking at that as being like a significant rejection. We are still trending. We have this overall trend higher for Bitcoin. And even if we do range here, I do see that trend being more likely than not to continue. Now, dropping it back down onto, let's go over onto look at the order flow. And it's a similar situation. There's not a whole lot going on here. Phone call. Every time I do a stream recently, I get a phone call in the middle of it. It's very strange. Spot selling overnight. We've been seeing a trend of this lately. So we are still seeing that profit taking from spot. You'd like to see that pick up. Okay, because we do have spot CVD all the way back down at the lows that we had from last week before there was this markup. But price is managing to hold. It would be nice to see spot the bid start to increase and delta start to increase here with spot if we are going to see strength for a move higher. But overall, still, yeah, just trading as I guess you could expect. The only slight red flag would be, yeah, here that we do have spot CVD down quite significantly, showing that it's not managing to catch like that much momentum here. The momentum is kind of slowing with spot, and you would want to see that increase. This move up is kind of hitting those targets that we just spoke about already here, so that's kind of interesting. ETFs and everything, we believe did have another day. Yeah, we did have more inflows again yesterday, so that was kind of nice. So inflows are just continuing, but fairly standard, fairly casual here. Nothing too much to update on there. Now, if I just want to flip over onto XO, because the CVD and the actual like on-chain data and all that kind of stuff isn't telling us very much. Again, similar situation to what we had yesterday. So yesterday we did have that move down that came, and actually I do need to reload this chart. I need to reload that chart because that's a little bit delayed, that data. But we had yesterday the move down into, I'm just going to go back onto this one again, the move down into the previous day point of control. And again, we're just trading within value from our previous days again. Let's just see if this loads up. I really don't want to. It takes so long to load. Takes so long to load. Processing. I have too much data within XO. There we go. Okay, cool. Let's open this back up. And we'll look at this here. So yeah, yesterday had that move down that filled the value area from Sunday. Okay. And then today we're still just trading within value here. If we are to just combine these, I did have a composite open. We're trading within value from the last few days. We do have Paulos on the day. We're testing into a tail from Sunday. And we had an open inside value area. So yeah, we do have value area high marked out here at 67,900. And once again, I think if we are going to see that continuation higher, that is where we have the confluence. There is an MPOC at 69,300, and then that gives us those other levels around about that 69,900. So for me, really, it's just remain patient as so long as price is within this range. And if it does, I think you can still be looking for long positions. Take them as scalp, see if they can hold on to it. So there's been a couple of opportunities so far today already with the sweep of the Monday lows, with the London sweep of the Asia lows. See if you can get those and hold those towards those next targets, which is the 69,300 NPOC and 69,900 to 70k range value area high. Anything else? There really is not too much more to say here. So I think I'm probably going to wrap it up. And yeah, it is very much just a case of we're still trading within this little range, and there's not a whole lot that you can really be doing. I think even last week was a little bit nicer than what we're seeing now. Of course, if it does drop, you've got that decent low from Sunday night. And then you've got a big 4-hour gap below. So there are still levels lower that you can be looking at. Then, of course, we do have 62k. If you are to start to lose this trend, once again, I do repeat this on all of the videos, we are in this slightly parabolic trend. It has been broken, this latest one. Okay, so if we look at just the trend line that we have that's just connecting the lows from last week up to here, we have broken that. Is this a bearish backtest? And we can be looking for a more of a corrective move down, potentially. Let's see if this does fill this gap, fill those single prints. then maybe look for those short positions lower. If there is to be a move down, I think that would provide nice opportunities. I think that's where I'd be looking for those bigger swing trades again. If there is to be a move down that takes out those Sunday lows, comes into this 4-hour gap here, or even rolls over, maybe gets a bounce from there, and then comes down into 62. 62 is where I would start to get interested again. Any loss of 62 I would consider to be a sign of weakness, and then I think you start to work within this range again here. I think that's still unlikely at this stage. So if we come down here, we'll cover it. But at this stage, I'm not saying that's a high probability setup. We still just need to be trading this trend. And the trend right now is that things are moving higher. So yeah, I'm going to wrap it up there. We're going to move on to the altcoins for the rest of this stream. Reminder that I do stream every morning, 10 a.m. UK time. And if you want to join in on the stream, ask any questions, do any of those kind of things, look at the altcoins as well, then please do join the stream. But as for this daily update video, I think that is everything I really have to say. So thank you very much for watching. What I said was likely within this video has more or less played out right now. So we've essentially filled these single prints already. And yeah. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll catch you in the next one. Yeah, see you soon. Cheers. Bye-bye. Tough one today. It was like trying to think of things to talk about, and there's not really anything to talk about. TATA. Blofin's cap. Yeah, I always forget because every time it's like a transition thing, and I transition back into this tab, and it pops back up again. Like, whoops. Whoopsie. What the Sigma? I made a big deposit and waited a full week for the airdrop and didn't receive anything. Tried to contact with them, but nobody responded. Make sure you look at the terms and conditions as well. You know, because it's a futures bonus. You've got to go into your bonuses tab and claim it. So, I mean, it tells you everything on the graphics and everything. So yeah, a lot of people get confused by that. They're like, where's my bonus? And they're expecting it to be like just free money deposited into their account. That's not how it works. So yeah, it's not a scam. It's just, you probably just didn't quite understand what it means. Unfortunately, with all exchanges, support on all exchanges is not the best, but if you do have any actual problems, like read the T's and C's, read the T and C's, look at the FAQs. If that still doesn't answer your question, then yeah, then maybe just drop a DM to me or something, or I can give you people to tag that can probably help that out. The people on Twitter are usually the best. They'll be the ones to help you out most. Alrighty. What is going on right now then? I don't think we really need to continue to follow this PA. We're probably around about the weekly VWAP here as well. That's a little bit higher. A little bit higher. Running out of exchanges to trade in the US. Yes. Yes, they're forcing everyone into the ETFs and everything, aren't they? But yeah, honestly, for me, like, I've never encountered any issues at all with either Blofin or with WooX. You just gotta like, yeah, yeah, you just got to know what it is and actually like read up on things if you need to. But yeah, I've never encountered any issues with them. The other nice thing about WooX, so of course those are the two partners that we have. So they're the two exchanges that I trade on, and I only like it's nice that exchanges help support the content and everything, but I'd only do that on exchanges that I personally use. So with both of those, they got fantastic APIs. with WooX as well, one major issue that they used to have was that it was like automatically on cross margin and unified margin. So they've got isolated now, and you can also trade. So the way that it used to work was whatever you held in your account was used as margin, but now you can just have your USDT. So it's like you have that isolated margin mode now, which is nice. I know that did create a few issues for some people. So that's one major thing that they have updated also. So once again, links are in the description below. They're the two exchanges that I use. Obviously with Woo, not available in the US, but with Blofin it is. And Woo is a KYC exchange, whereas Blofin isn't. So pros and cons to both of them. But if you're trading on something like Teal Street, or if you use API or anything, they're by far the two best options that are available to myself, because I can't use something like Bybit anymore or Binance or whatever. So yes. How ETH looks like today? Sell the news? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think ETH is looking bullish. So with Ethereum, I've this is support. Okay, ETH BTC at support. I am expecting a mad melt up at some stage. Whether that's from this low, the nice thing that this has done, I mean, this range has just been a gold mine. It's so easy. It's so easy, Ethereum. You just like range highs, range lows, support. I just buy long Ethereum when the BTC pair comes into support. And I've been saying this like literally forever. Every time we get these drops down, buy Ethereum. Every time we get these drops down, just buy Ethereum, buy Ethereum. And again, last night, I posted this into the Discord last night. I had alerts that went off right at the end of the day. This was like at 11 p.m. that we'd taken out these lows on the ETH BTC pair. And I immediately posted that into the Discord. I was just about to go to bed, but I immediately posted that onto the Discord. And yeah, we've since had a very nice bounce again. So the ETH BTC here up 4%. So very clean. I don't really think this is, I think the sell the news, it was more of a sell the rumor type of situation. ETH has been hammered lately. And so I would imagine right now that we see maybe at last the potential for this to have a run that kind of sticks. But as long as we stay within this range, then I think that's all very nice. I do consider this to be a incredibly good support. As long as Ethereum's around about this 0.05 mark, I'm looking to be a buyer. And I do see this breaking up, and you can get a decent chunk of outperformance against Bitcoin over the coming months, over the coming weeks and coming months. So I do see the ETF as being bullish. I think the general thing has been like everyone's just been pooping on ETH for a very long time, and no one really thinks it's going to happen. And everyone thinks, oh, the ETF's going to be released. It's just going to be like crap. Nothing's going to happen. But as long as this does say support, I do think it represents a good opportunity here. The ETH USD pair, for me, technically isn't doing anything interesting apart from holding that monthly open, right? So we had a situation again yesterday where what we'd done, obviously we had that big drop down after the monthly open, the first few days of the month here. We flipped that. And then yesterday, as the ETH BTC pair was coming back down into support, that monthly open was still holding. So if we look on ETH, I do think that we have a very good chance of getting a very strong reversal candle after seeing a spring from the lows here. And I'm fully expecting new all-time highs on Ethereum this year. Fully expecting new all-time highs. I just think it's an absolute no-brainer. The amount that it's been crushed in comparison to Bitcoin like for the longest time. And even the last cycle, it didn't do very much. Yeah, it didn't do that much. It did underperform against Bitcoin for most of the last cycle. I think there's a massive opportunity here on ETH. I think it's probably the biggest opportunity in the market when you're looking at the big caps. And yeah, absolutely 100% expecting new all-time highs this year. And I would not be surprised to see 10k ETH by the time that there's the election and once we get that, the ETFs really starting to trade. So for me, I'm accumulating when it's at support, and I'm fully expecting 6, 7, 8, 9, 10k this year. Fully expecting that. So that's just, again, personal opinion. Do your own research, but I'm bullish on ETH. Very, very much so. But yeah, my chart's super simple. It's just like, yeah, you flip monthly, open back into support. Happy days. Is there anything more that we really need to say on this? It's probably not. Probably not. Decent move up so far again today. Just one of those, people are going to miss it. So many people are going to miss ETH and not going to be involved in the move because it's just creeping up. It's doing like this general thing, which is what you see before everything starts to explode. Everything's creeping up on extremely low volume, extremely low volatility. There's no volatility out there. Like, volatility is dead. It's just floaty move up. And then at some point, it gets up to the highs again, breaks resistance, clean break, off we go. And then the volatility picks up again. Hassan, how not to lose multiple time frames while trying to scalp 0.30 to 0.5 moves? Huh? I don't understand the question. So do you trade ETH BTC pair or just using as confluence and trade the USDT pair? I just buy ETH, basically. When Ethereum comes down into support, I'm a buyer of ETH. So I'll just transfer. If I've made some profits on BTC, if I've made some profits on USDT, I just move that into Ethereum. Because there's no volatility there, I'm not trading Ethereum. So I don't trade it. There is no volatility. I'm just a buyer at support. It's as simple as that. I'm a buyer at support. I have a long-term view on it. When volatility picks up, then I will add leverage. But just stay patient. That's all you need to do. Like, just stay patient. Wait for the volatility to kick in. There isn't volatility right now. There is no volatility. Zilch. It's nothing. We need volatility. Volatility is opportunity. So it's a good place to position yourself. But trading without volatility, kind of pointless. Because the thing is, when you trade without volatility, right? This is the thing. Like, you trade without volatility, and if everything's just doing this, and just like, all right, we're not really sure what we're doing here. It's just, okay, we're going to trade without volatility. What you do is you enter trades with an exit. It never gets to your target. It never gets to the exit that you want. It comes back down. It stops you out. You try and flip it to the other side. It never gets to your target. It stops you out. And it just continues to do that. So it's not even really like with a range trade. And when you have something like that, that's kind of nice because you have, like, you can reasonably expect certain things to happen at certain points in the chart. But without volatility, like, you come into levels, just not quite getting those kind of reactions enough to like day trade this kind of thing. At least for myself, like, I just the best thing to do is just like what I believe is accumulate, find the good opportunities, hold on to them. Yeah, even if you go through a little bit of drawdown, hold on to them unless you're invalidated on the higher time frames, and then you should be in a position of strength to start to add that leverage in order to compound when the volatility starts to kick in. Because right now, if you've been buying these dips, you're absolutely fine if things start to come down here. Okay, and if we do go and make new lows, then it's just right, you just start that process again. Because once you've gone through something like this, once the market's gone through something like this, it takes time. This has been exactly what we expected from a bounce. Okay, we've been talking about this 67k as the target. We surpassed that, so we've hit take profit levels on any of the bounce. And then it's just a case of remaining patient. When there's a break of highs, volatility will kick back in. Things will speed up a lot. And we need things to move fast. Right now, just simply is not the case. So, yeah, I mean, that's the same thing. Now, I say that, but there is still... Even with low volatility, I guess there is still opportunity. This is what I was talking about with the trades that you could take. If you are patient, you do get them. And I think trading session liquidity still works. Trading highs and lows still works. Okay? We've seen examples of it today. You sweep a previous day low. You then sweep it on a London session. If New York session comes down and takes out the London lows, then you've had like that 3 spikes from 3 different sessions, which I think would be another really good opportunity. There are still trades that you can take from that, but I think you've got to take them from highs and lows. You've got to take them from liquidity rather than trying to fiddle around when things are just in the middle, or like where we are now at a VWAP, at a POC, at all of that kind of thing. So yeah. Went off on a bit of a tangent again there, didn't I? Oh, that's a good little... I didn't realize that was a question here as well. Hassan, does different session like Asia New York open close affect the markets? Yes. Yeah, I just gave an example of it there. So yeah, it does. On Bitcoin, certainly. Yeah. Different sessions. I know like crypto is a 24-hour market, but Bitcoin has very distinct sessions within that. Asia, London, New York, the 3 main ones. Okay, you get these little sessions in between, but they're the 3 main ones. Asia and New York generally being the best 2 to trade. London session often being a bit of a nothingness. But yeah, similar PA. We've had very, very, very similar PA today as yesterday. So what happened yesterday, London session, right? I can just share it on here. So London session yesterday, swept Asia lows, had a bounce. Yeah. New York session then again, swept the London lows, had a bounce, but a bigger bounce. So Asia session quite big, London session being very small, and then New York session being bigger. Same again today. All right, London session, sweeping Asia lows, getting a bounce. Would therefore probably still expect New York session to do a similar thing again. Maybe take the lows and then get a bigger bounce. So you just repeat it. It's the last 3 days, in fact. Sunday, right? Asia session puts in a range. London session sweeps the lows, has a bounce. New York session then goes and takes it, but has a bigger bounce, taking out both the highs and the lows. So generally speaking, right? And there's a pretty high probability that this kind of thing exists fairly often. Similar up here, but you do it on the highs instead. London session sweeps Asia highs. Okay. London session sweeps Asia lows, has a bounce. London session sweeps Asia lows, has a bounce. London session sweeps Asia highs, has a retrace. London session sweeps Asia highs, retrace. London session sweeps highs. Okay, then you get continuation. You get the idea, right? It's a pretty common theme. London session sweeps Asia highs, retraces. Yeah. Sweeps Asia lows, bounce. Inside there. So quite often you'll find a range, Asia session, Yeah. Now it doesn't happen all the time. Nothing in trading happens all the time. But you have Asia. And let's say we're looking at similar price action to today. You'll have London, smaller session. So let's say Asia's done something like this. London, a bit of a smaller session in terms of price action. New York session. And you can look at this type of theme playing out quite often. So Asia, range. London, sweep, bounce. New York, sweep, sweep. So very, 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 very generalized overview. But that's the kind of thing that I look to trade relatively often. And sometimes you don't get that as well. Like if you form gaps, like you're not always going to take highs. You may have a decent bounce from London. It may do something like this. Yeah. But you get the idea. You get the idea. Generally speaking, London session's kind of just a corrective session. More often than not. Miso, I got you, but have no capital to position myself. So trading this slow price action kind of the only option. Also good for learning with tiny margins and high leverage just to get a feel. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. You can still take trades. The nice thing about this is there's still opportunities. You just have to be a little bit more patient with the opportunities. Altcoin's still providing some good trades. Then what you can do, like let's say, even if you're trading with like $100 or something and you make $20 profit, what you can do is you can just start to like scale in to things that you like. Maybe put that $20 profit into some spot and just start to like gradually buy like longer term holds, because I believe we're in a reaccumulation phase here. So turn those profits. I don't think now is a good time to just be like stacking USDT. Yeah. So if you're making profits and you're making dollars on your profits, then just start dipping in to some of those assets and start to get those positions, because that's the multipliers. Because if you make $20 on a trade and you put it into something like ZRO, for example, that we've seen over the past few weeks has doubled in price, then that $20 becomes $40, and then you've got that asset there. Yeah, so if you're trading with small margins like that, then the way to compound those gains is that's the nice thing about crypto, which you can't do on legacy markets, because with legacy markets, you're just trading with fiat. The nice thing about crypto and where the real opportunity is and why we trade crypto is because it can compound. So with legacy, you can scale. And you can scale on crypto and you can scale and do all of that kind of thing, but you don't get the same chance to compound. And for me, something I repeat often, trading is the bread and butter. That's the day job. All right. You take a trade, you can make a bit of money, you can lose a bit of money, you can do whatever. Okay. But you know your risk is defined and you can scale. But where you can compound that is by moving into altcoins. Okay, yes, there's some risk involved, but if you're doing it with profit, it's not that risky. You can move it into altcoins and then you can just let them go. Let them go, and they're all very happy days. Lucifer, just trade inverse pairs. Keep stacking your spot with inverse futures. Yes, that is an option. Inverse pairs aren't available to everybody. So there's not really anywhere that I can trade inverse pairs. So I use the other option. And inverse pairs I don't like them. I'm not a stack sats kind of, because that's the thing, like it's still similar. Like yes, you can scale, but it's different, right? Because what you're doing, if you're trading an inverse pair, let's say you're trading Bitcoin and you're trading Bitcoin and Bitcoin's going up in price, yes, but that's still not compounding really. Because what if you're trading Bitcoin in a distribution? Then you're losing. So yeah, okay, I think it's a good opportunity to trade inverse during an accumulation or whatever, but you get the idea. I think altcoins provide more opportunities. So for me, I would move profits into alts that have those opportunities, spot buys. The things that you've been seeing in recent streams, yeah, you're going to make more. You're going to get more from these alts than you are from Bitcoin or from holding USDT. For sure. Inverse right now because of the expected outcome. Yeah, it's all like personal preference. Personal preference. I just say what I like to do. Do you trade divergence, and which type of divergence is the best? Yes, I do. I do look at the CVD divergence. I do look at the RSI divergence. They're probably the two only things. I've drank a lot of water in this stream. So I need a wee wee. Back in a sec. Wait, let me put the background music on before I go. Because it's not on again. Yeah, have some nice joyous background music again. Blip, blip. He has returned. Cool. All right. I think I'm going to sit. I'm going to sit down. And we're going to chillax for a little bit. And we're going to start charting some stuff. And just doing a wee bit of general Q&A and all of those kind of things. So let me grab my chair. Let me move my desk down. And let me turn the AC off, otherwise I got cold. All right. Cool, I'm back. It's crazy, right? Like, every morning. It's a funny time. Like, I pee like crazy. Because I drink like, this is my second one of these already. So I drink like a full, like 3 liter, or however much that is. However much that is. I don't know how much that is, but however much that is. I drink a full one of those in the morning. And then I have a nice black coffee. And then I have supplements, vitamins and things. And I do all of that before I eat anything. So I end up like, whoops, desk. There you go. I end up like peeing everything out. Jason Casper, I should do it. I should put on a catheter or something. just put a little cup, put a little suction cup on your cock, and just gradually just pee it all out. But when I'm streaming, man, I get through so, like, this is almost empty again. So I drink a whole bottle of that, and then it's like a whole black coffee just before I start the stream. Mental. I've just found out like how awesome these are as well. I'm not an energy drink person at all. I've never ever been into energy drinks like Red Bull and stuff, but this Tenzing, someone told me about this the other day, and it's like, it's awesome because it's all like, it's natural. So it's all like very, very natural, and they're good as well. They're very nice. So if you want like good natural energy drinks, because I can only really handle one coffee a day. Anything more, I get like, I get the jitters. So if I need a little boost, a little pick me up, then this is good. There's no crash, there's no jitters with it. So I often in the well, I say often, that's the first time I've ever had it, but I had it yesterday and I was like, ooh, that's good. It's good shit. It's good shit. When collab it coming? I mean, we got to do another collab again, Jason. Peeing on a treadmill is a skill, yeah. I bet. That's why I need the catheter. like an old man. We should do another stream together. That'd be really good fun. Right, some altcoins that I want to cover. Okay, we know the stuff that's been doing well. I got filled on a couple more bids last night. So once again, I posted this to the crew. So if we go back over here, I'll just show you with a little image. So generally speaking, I'll post these things. So Pendle and ENA, also on my watch list, looking for a bit lower. Nothing else moving right now. And I had some bids. So I had a little setup here. You can just see in the corner of the screen. So I got filled on Pendle. So this is keeping it real simple. Real simple. Partial fill. Okay, I was looking to get a fill within what was a OB and also previous support from back down here. So with a lot of stuff, we've had a low, made a lower high, we've swept them again. We're looking at this as being the manipulation, this as being the spring. I think over the course of the next few weeks, we're looking at bounces that can break through those VWAPs to make it themselves take themselves towards new all-time highs. We're not there yet, so that's what I say. We don't have the volatility yet. We don't have the sign of strength from everything. Okay, but things are starting to become better, starting to become more interesting. The dips that we've seen so far this week have provided some new opportunities. So if we're using these July lows, we're expecting that's probably the end of the first phase of the accumulation. We've had the spring. All right, go to a Wyckoff kind of structure, and I can find this over here. We go to Wyckoff. Oh, fuck, I can't spell it. Accumulation. Let me find an image. Reaccumulation. although on altcoins it is just pure accumulation, but we're looking at this kind of schematic playing out across a lot of stuff right now. Whether it's a reaccumulation or just a pure accumulation, we have this kind of thing. And this is the plan. It's just a simple, like, slow and steady process of starting to scale where you see opportunities. So we had with a ton of stuff. You had this like phase A to B, which is you create these highs with divergence. You get that first sweep. So you create these highs with divergence, and then you get the first sweep, right? Goes on to make a lower high. Goes on to make a lower high. Then you get the manipulation. Phase C, the manipulation. All right, the spring. Now what you're looking for, your like real strong entries and where the confidence really starts to come in, is when you start to jump the creek, it's called. You jump the creek. And the way that I measure the creek is by going for an anchored VWAP from the lower high, where you have the slow grind down that ends in a capitulation, manipulation, whatever. And I think a lot of stuff we're seeing is just around about here. Yeah? We're just getting to around about here on a bunch of things. So if I draw these anchored VWAPs on a load of stuff, then you can see, okay, that's almost your creek. That's the river that you've got to cross in order to become bullish again. And what we quite often find is that you get tests into those around about a similar area to where the POC is within these ranges. So if you draw on a POC, you would imagine it is roughly the same as where that... It's not. It's not. Let me draw this to fit. It's going to be very different on different things. But you get like high volume nodes that pop up around here. I'm going to keep on drawing this until it gives me something that I want to show you. Hey, look at this. When I draw it more, then you're at the POC. You're at POC here. But you get the idea. LPS before the jump. Yes. Yes. So what I look at here is I do think we're going through a bit of this correction before we get that jump. And then you can be looking for a markup towards new highs. And that's when things start to accelerate. Okay, once you see that real strength. So we've had a bounce. We don't know yet. We don't have full confidence in this. If we're looking at a distribution, things can turn out very, very differently. But I do not believe we're looking at a distribution. But if I put in a distribution schematic, find an image of that, try and find the same image. Schematic. Come on, Google Images. I don't believe we're going through a distribution. Right? Which is, you'd see something like this playing out. Yeah? That's not what I believe. I believe we're going through a reaccumulation. So because I believe that, then I'm happy to be bidding in this area. But you still don't have that confirmation. So if you want to really play it safe, I'd say good opportunities right now are where you get these dips back into some support that can provide you with a clear invalidation of these lows, because we don't think we're in a distribution. Okay, a distribution would end up as being a bearish, more often than not would be a bearish backtest of this and then lower. Okay, because you're not going to spring here. Once you've got acceptance back inside, that should tell you that we're either going through an accumulation, you've had that as a manipulation here. Okay, you've got acceptance back outside, you're not getting continuation lower, right? And now we're heading back into an area in which you can consider a support. So if Pendle, I've had some bids filled. What I'd like to see ideally is that market structure just continues to go higher. Okay, we start to close and you get confluence with a lot of this stuff. Where did this reject? it was close to that VWAP. Other exchanges are going to show different things because the volume is going to be slightly different on other exchanges. Maybe on Binance, the anchored VWAP's already down here. Maybe there's been more selling volume at the lows. Yeah. So if I go to something else and maybe I just take off Woo and we look on Binance, for example, you're going to get slight changes and you mark that from the high. Okay. It's still a bit of a ways off here. Maybe on spot. Yeah. Maybe on a spot contract, you got more selling that's going on in those. Generally speaking, you'd think that the anchored VWAP on spot will be a bit higher, but no, it's roughly the same. But what you want to see is the jump, okay, the strength, and then you can look to really bid if and when things get to this point. The nice thing about positioning early is that you get a bit of an entry here. And once again, I have mentioned this within... I have mentioned this in the chat this morning. So I set out an alert for the crew this morning. And I did this. So Pendle and ENA bids got filled overnight. Partial fills on both will add size on strength. Now, what I mean by adding size on strength is that I have an average here. I've not got the full position size that I'd like, but if I do see strength, then I'll compound into that strength, and then you look for the big expansion higher towards those ultimate targets there. Yeah. So it's that kind of thing. So that will give me a nice average entry somewhere around about here. Yeah. And then you look for the markup afterwards when there's a bit more confidence. So as you get more confidence in the market, you can increase the size. And if you can increase the size and you can be profitable on your trades, then that's where you can start to compound things. And that's when the returns get bigger. That's when the big money comes in. So that's generally it. So that's Pendle. It's a trade that I'm looking at on this. Slow and steady, getting into it. And ENA is a similar situation. Okay, ENA, a little bit different, right? Again, hasn't seen any strength. Yeah, not really any strength at all here. It's just a big fat boo-boo, kind of dead kind of thing. It's not very nice. But you can look at other ways to try and get some good entries from this. You did go oversold. Yeah. And what you also had here was just a bit of what happens when you have this momentum. All right. You have a big expansion away from that, and then you're just going sideways for a little bit. You see some kind of strength there, slightly-ish, maybe. And then you're coming back into an area that you can consider as being a decent zone of support once again here. So again, it's early stage potential for an accumulation. Now on ENA, I would have liked to have seen it go deeper, down to around about this 42 to 40 cents area. But because I spotted this yesterday, I did have some bids just below the previous day lows, and I was happy to get into that. So what we've seen again today, okay, is a sweep of previous day lows. I had one bid filled, and we're starting to get a bit of a reaction from that. But again, early days. No need to be getting overexposed into anything. No need to be putting all your money into stuff right now. Start just gradually getting back into it. And that's what I'm doing. And I'm just looking for the best opportunities for that on like a daily basis. And then what you should end up with. So this is this is the phase one. But what we hope that it turns out as is something like this, okay? Where you're starting to get in early, the market moves away from you, you've got that profit locked in, you've taken profit. So on ZRO, for example, this is a few phases on from that, okay? We're starting to see this bigger expansion going on. And we've had opportunities to compound these trades. Yeah? So then the market's starting to move away from you. You've been taking profit, you've been compounding, you've been taking profit, and then you've got some cash on the side that you can go, okay, what's the next stuff that could maybe give something like this? Yeah. So you have some other opportunity, and what I'm seeing here is, okay, maybe ZRO needs a bit of time to cool down here. Is there a better opportunity for something like Pendle? And then we look at that kind of thing. All right. So I don't know if there's any other assets like Pendle and ENA. When I did a scan yesterday, were the two that were looking the best. Maybe this morning, because we've had a bit more of a dip again this morning, maybe there are some others. So we can start to have a look. I've got a bit of profit here, giving them a go. And yeah, maybe we can look for some other opportunities. So what's out there today? Ideally, what I'd want to see is stuff that's down. Myro, kind of clear. There you go. All right, so if you're looking for bid area to bid, you got a nice stack here. The best bet. So when you start to stack these areas of confluence, what you had on Myro, for example, we're just using this as the first thing I've looked at. You took out some lows. All right. You had a bounce through. What happened here? You have a gap down, gets flipped. Okay. Make a high. Kind of breaks this downtrend. And then you have a gap here. So you've got areas of imbalance on the chart. If you can get some bids in this little section, stack them together. If you can get some bids in there, that to me looks pretty sexy. And then you can build a bit of confluence around that. What do we also have within there? Is that golden pocket. Okay, so you got this same little area. And what do we also have down there? Let's get rid of these backgrounds. It makes it a bit cleaner. Okay, you get the overlap just of the shading. Then what you also have is these lows. You're coming back into a reference point that you had previously acted as support. So when you start to stack all these things up, if you want to add a little bit more confluence, maybe we've got an anchored VWAP that's around there. Now this, of course, had a pretty big move up, so you've not really got that. But if you were to see something like this on, like, if Myro is something that you're looking at, then I think if you do come back down into this little zone, and once again, I'll just place some alerts. Yeah, place an alert there, knowing that that's coming into the zone that I would be willing to bid. So there's my alert at 12786. Now I'm like massively OCD and stuff, so I like to make those an even number. Yeah, I don't like having random numbers. I like to make them an even number. I'm just weird like that. Then that's probably an area that I may consider getting something with. Extended a little bit too far again, but you see these daily gaps. Mew, mad. Bonk, nothing. AVAX looks interesting. So AVAX, think back to what I was saying earlier. The accumulation. Okay, I can probably get rid of all of this. But you have an accumulation here. So with AVAX, you have this little range, big range. You had a distribution. So you had expansion above the range. You got caught back inside. You rotated all the way back down towards the lows. Yep. Then you go through this. What could be considered as a reaccumulation. Okay, but you come down, you get the manipulation afterwards. the spring from these lows, you're back inside your range again. Now, if you can look to bid back into this area, then that looks kind of nice. Now, the way that you can draw this creek from this one, you've got a couple of options. There's your last major pivot high. Or if you want to wait for more strength, you see if it can break through this one. But AVAX looking like it could be providing a pretty good opportunity. So you've got an area here, you can drop it down into the 4 hour, start to have a look at that. So this is the more recent move. So on this, you've taken lows, you've changed that market structure, you're coming back down into an area of support. Once again, if you can get some bids below that $30 mark and a validation around about that 22, and you're essentially looking for a move up towards a roughly 50 as where you would at the very least expect this to go, then there's something there. So you can start to be like, okay, that looks like kind of a nice trade. So once again, I'll just say as an example, you got a 2-to-1 off of that just by buying at $30, selling if it goes below 20, taking profit at 50. But then if it gets up here, then what you know has happened, if it does get to there, you know that this is likely going to act as support. So by the time that it gets up there, you probably find that this view up starts coming back up, this view up starts coming back up, the one from the lows starts coming back up, and maybe you get a situation where all of these things together start acting as support around the same area. So you get a markup in price, you come back down, tap into that confluence, and then you see that expansion higher. Gives you an opportunity to compound from a position of strength. Yeah. And you just build it all up, stack up those confluences, stack up those reasons for looking at a chart, reasons for entering a chart, reasons for taking a trade. You stack them all up, and the more confident you get, the bigger you can size up, and then you start to get these opportunities for bigger trades off of the back of it. Now, you only really get those opportunities on longs as well. So this is why I do have a long bias, because you cannot compound short positions, because the market can't generally, or it's very short-lived. If you're in a short position, generally speaking, the only reason you should be shorting is just you short an opportunity, you take that to target, you take your profit, and you should only really ever be reducing on short positions, in my opinion. As soon as I start to compound short positions, you start to get very, 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 it becomes a big risk. Because with shorts, and this is the same with everything, this is just how markets move, all right? With shorts, you can have a short-lived thing that does that, but you always slow, okay? Because the closer you get to zero, the more percentage it's got to move in order to get to zero in the first place. Whereas with longs, once you're in price discovery, you can get that kind of curve, and it starts to move away from it. So for compounding trades, long positions only. The short positions, take your trade, take your profit, done. You're not going to get as much money from shorting. LDO is looking good for a higher low than Moon with ETH run. Yes, LDO I did see yesterday. I didn't choose to say anything about it. The thing with LDO is it doesn't move very much. I don't know if this is anything I'd really would trade, but LDO, yes, is at support. And it did have a nice drop yesterday. So I do like LDO, but I don't know about it from if that's an asset that I would really look to trade too much. But maybe I'll take the old trade on this. You just have certain assets that just don't do much, ever. So with some things like LDO, it's just, do you see the potential for a parabolic run from LDO? I don't know. It's like a staking protocol. Is it ever going to really do that kind of thing? It's already got a very high valuation, and you've got other tokens that are alongside it and things. So, I mean, maybe it does really well. You've got a nice range there. You do have a nice range on LDO. I just don't know if it's like my kind of thing. Is it the kind of thing that gets enough hype that one day the chart looks like this, right? And it goes for this. Is it gonna do it? I don't have as strong conviction that it does this as maybe other altcoins. But who knows? There's, again, personal opinion. They hold the most ETH. They do. They do. It's just one of those things. Like I feel the utility for LDO is the fact that it's relatively stable. Yeah. You use Lido to get ETH. But I don't know too much about it. So like I say, it's just a kind of a feeling I have from it. Because we can also look at LDO on here, for example. And we can go, okay, LDO. This market cap's not bad, you know. $60. Let's go. Okay. I guess it depends like how you value Lido in comparison to something like Ethereum. Or are there any other stake? Like, I guess Lido is the biggest staking protocol on that. But the thing is, you've got like Lido staked ETH. Yeah, maybe the token is really useful. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, fair. Because you've got a lot of stuff locked with it within Lido. You've also got all of that market cap that's locked in it. Plus a lot of other stuff. Yeah, fair. Fair. Stark, ENS, Matic, Arb, OP, Lido, Mint. Very nice. Some good charts there. If anyone else, so Stark. Nice. Nice. Stark looks a lot like ENA, right? Similar kind of thing. Stark's maybe putting in this candle. Yeah, there's your first sign of strength. Where would you expect this to go? Here. Yeah. At the very least, you'd expect that to go there. Maybe higher. $1. Yeah, Stark looks good. Now you got to remember something else that I also say quite a lot of. Stark is something that I'd been shitting on for a while. Yeah? When it was up here, I was like, I'm bearish, don't like it, sucks. All right, when it was here, I don't like it, sucks. It launched at way too high of a valuation. It had all these problems with the tokenomics. But that doesn't mean that it still sucks. Because if something sucks, all right, when it's valued up here, then maybe it's really good when it's valued down here. It's like if you want to buy something, I don't know, a Tesla, I don't know, I don't know, like something, just buy anything. If it's too expensive, you're not going to buy it, right? But if it becomes cheap and it goes on sale, suddenly it's good, right? It's a good thing to buy, and you'll think, right, that thing's on sale. I didn't like it when it was back up here. I thought it was pointless. Something pointless, something gimmicky. Yeah, you could maybe say like, I don't know, Amazon. What's a random thing on Amazon? I'm getting into my own head here. This is completely pointless for me to even say it, but because I'm doing the analogy, I want to complete the analogy, even though everybody here, you already know what I'm talking about. But I must complete the analogy. All right, deals for you. I should have done this when it was Prime Day. Yeah? You hear about this really cool thing that's gonna like change your life. But when it launches, it's really expensive and everyone's buying it and everyone's hyping it. And all the influencers online are hyping it and buying it. You're like, no, it's too expensive. Then Black Friday comes along and it's on Amazon Prime. Or it's on Prime Day. And then suddenly it's a 70% discount. You're like, shit, yeah, I got to buy that now. And then you realize that it's actually good. It's not completely worthless or pointless. Anyway, there's my analogy. ENS USDT .p. Yeah, Stark looks decent. ENS looks decent. It has done for a very long time. It's been resilient throughout this whole thing. There have been opportunities to buy it. Getting a nice candle from that today. Matic. We got some nice ETH ecosystem plays from Glyph here. Matic needs to do a bit more. It needs to do a lot more. So Matic needs to do a lot more for me. But again, opportunities. They will, as the market picks up, there will be more and more opportunities. Yeah, ARB needs to do a bit more. OP USDT. OP needs to do a bit more. A lot of these bounces just haven't reached what you would consider as like nice recoveries. So the issue you have with a lot of this stuff, okay, is you're still like, you're just backing up into resistance. Yeah, you've not reclaimed levels that you've had previously been lost. So what I like, and the things that will make me get bullish again, bare minimum that you'd want to see as a recovery of the, like, a lot of the move down, then you look to bid and then you go for the markup. So unless you were buying all the way down here, or even if you were buying within this little range, I think if you were buying down here, cool, because the theme from last week, right, was that a lot of stuff had done this. You put in the little like thingy with the little beak, and we were within this, and then a lot of stuff's just kind of floating back up to recover that move, yeah. But the next phase is you get that strength, which some of the stuff that we've been talking about, we've seen from, okay. You go over to, what was it? Pendle was showing it, yeah? You have a bit more of a markup that recovers a bit more of the move. and then you can bid back into the support again for the next leg. So still being patient. Similar kind of patterns playing out, where so you have this down, range, sweep, but what you want to see now is this same thing playing out on the higher time frames to what we had on the lower time frames. Yeah? So it's that same thing. You go boom, 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 boom. You had it here, and you want to see that play out. You had it here, and it is playing out. It's just that pattern's repeating itself. A lot of things. MNT. This is more like it, yeah? So what we saw on OP, it hadn't quite done it. Wasn't quite there. OP is maybe just chilling around about here. But MNT, is this mint layer? Mantle. Mint layer is a different thing. MNT, you could see, like, MNT, you can see it has reclaimed the range that it was previously in. So if you are to get some dips, maybe it extends a little bit higher, comes up here. But if you then get dips, it's the kind of thing you want to see. And then you get the continuation. See, this is what I mean. Look at this comment in the chat. No. Scamnet. So many scammy TGA, tokenomics, airdrops, and devs on Starknet. Yes. But that doesn't mean that it's an issue anymore because it's down so much. It doesn't matter. At some stage, it no longer matters because everything in crypto is scammy. Everything in crypto has, the vast majority of stuff has bad tokenomics. But when it's a problem is when prices are here. If the price becomes cheap, it's no longer an issue. It will be an issue again when it becomes overvalued again. You value what it is. Okay? So if something has bad tokenomics, it just means it doesn't have as much value as something with good tokenomics. But what would you rather buy? Would you rather buy the world's greatest CAS, for example? All right? CAS has been up like crazy. Great tokenomics, great team, great fundamentals, but it's done 100x. Or do you buy something that has bad tokenomics, bad team, down 90%? Which would you rather buy? Would you rather buy the really nice asset that everyone thinks is really great and really cool, but it's already done 100x? Or would you buy the shitty asset that's scammy and the devs hate and the devs are no good and it's got bad tokenomics, but it's down 90%? Which has the greater chance of return for you as a trader or an investor? Quite often, the shit stuff that's down 90% will get you better returns, at least short term. You just got to make sure you're not holding it forever. Yeah. So it doesn't matter. You can look at the worst of the worst. Okay, you can look at the absolute, just complete trash. But if there's an opportunity there, go for it. You can look at complete trash. But if an opportunity there, go for it. Okay, that short, by the way, who was it that mentioned that short? That short, thank you to whoever it was. We did this on a stream last week. I did take profit on the vast majority of it. Okay. But we took this on a stream. Entry, $3.20, $3.19. Now it's down here. So whoever that was, I can't remember who it was that was talking about it, but we managed to catch this trade. It was here, wasn't it? We got that one. 0. Don't think it's gonna pay out. I'm not really riding. I'm not making any money on this anymore. I just have a bit left for the money shot. So I have like, yeah, not very much remaining. Like $80 of unrealized P&L left. But you get the idea. It makes it a bit of fun. It's a bit of fun. Okay, right. I think I've been live for 2 hours. I'm going to call it a day there. I'm going to go and have some food. Going to have some eggs and some avocado and maybe some bacon, maybe some smoked salmon, but definitely some eggs. I want some eggs. I need some eggs, and I need some avocado, and I need some good stuff in my belly because I'm getting hungry. I've drank so much water, I had my coffee. I'm starting to get hungry. So thank you very much, everybody, for joining. Yeah, I'll be back again tomorrow. We will continue. We'll see what opportunities present themselves tomorrow. But I guess, yeah, quick wrap up. The theme of the day is just be patient. Things are looking good, but things can still correct a little bit more and still look good. So, yeah, that's kind of it. Has pulse chain bottomed? Aples, could you not have asked me that earlier? I'm not going to look at it now. Ask me it later. You're probably only joking because pulse chain is just scammy. Proper scammy. Oh my God, I want to look at it now. What is pulse chain? That's the, no, I don't know what the ticker is. Anyway, cool. Thanks, everybody.